Hello guys, here on fairbinaryoptions.com, and the purpose of this recording is to show you how Chinkou can be used in trading binary options. Now what you're having in front of your eyes is the euro dollar 4-hour chart, and this is Friday. So before going into technical details, we'd like to add that this Friday no major economic events are expected. We had the FOMC and the Fed decision to postpone the tapering until better data out of the US economy is going to come, and from that moment the US dollar basically has been sold aggressively. This is a 4-hour chart like mentioned, and take a look here. We had a nice correction here for the price right prior to the FOMC announcement, and then all the way to the upside as market clearly positioned on the short side for the US dollar. Now what you have here, this was happening on the Wednesday evening. This is Thursday, a classical consolidation for Thursday, and what we might have today, because this is Friday, is a short squeeze. Now I don't know if you know what a short squeeze means, but a short squeeze is related to double buying power. First of all, try to imagine that the people that were being on the bear side here have been caught in the wrong direction here, and they are going to use any pullback in prices in order to close the position. Now in order to close a short position, you need to buy, and any dips basically will be used for one side bears to exit from wrong positions, and bulls, the new wannabes bulls, they want to go on the long side euro dollar as well. So I am expecting for the euro dollar actually to be sustained on any dip. This being also Friday, and especially for the fixings, there is something like 15 GNT, especially for the fixing on Friday. So there is the fixing on a daily fixing and the weekly fixing. Look for prices to get traction into the direction market initially went. Now based on the Chinkou, this whole structure that you're seeing here, this indicator is being called the Ichimoku Kinko here. This is the cloud, the Kinjun and the Tenkan lines, and this is the Chinkou, this pink line. Now the Chinkou has the tendency to show us the distance from current price levels until the candles in front of it. See, this is the current price level 135.35, and these are the candles in front of it. Now the Chinkou has a strong tendency, there is a strong tendency for it to come and approach, the candles, and by such a distance has a tendency to avoid the candles in front of it. Now if the Chinkou is price actually projected back for 26 periods, that means that price here will have to do something like that as well. In order for the Chinkou to avoid the price in front of it. And there you go, we have here a possible bullish setup. Now we are trading binary options here on fairbinaryoptions.com, and the most important thing is not the direction the market is going to go, but the expiry date. If you want to beat the system, then you have to be aware that the expiry date is the most important one. In order for your option to be profitable and you to cash in the money, then at the expiry date, price should be higher than the striking price if you are buying calls, or price should be lower than the striking price if you are buying puts. Now because of that, in our case here, this being a 4-hour chart, we have two options. Either you will go buying calls because we are looking price to increase, to go to the upside. So either you will go buying calls for end of day expiration, or you might go for something like 2 or 3 days expirations, trading days of course expiration, and even going for middle of next week expiration. I would personally take my chance on on the end of day expiration because of the reasons exposed earlier with the fixings and being Friday, so looking for price to go a bit higher than the current levels. Now current levels are 35, 34, and remember, in order for a buying call to be profitable, it needs to expire in the money. There is at least 1 pip to the upside. So what I would say here, I would go based on the Chinkou. I would look to buy calls, buying calls for end of day expiration. It is a bit risky, so on a scale of 1 to 5, I would say that this is 1 to 5, and 1 being the 5 being the riskier and 1 being less risky. I would say that this is something like on the third scale. Why? Because this being a 4-hour chart, imagine it will go 3 candles to the downside here, and 12 hours from now is almost close of the day. So, and then price to move to the upside. So it is a bit risky, but it is the most appropriate thing to do. So buying calls, let me write here, buying calls with end of day expiration. And for the future, whenever you are using the Chimoku indicator, take a look at the Chinkou, sorry, because every time Chinkou comes to the candles in front of it, it has the initial tendency is to try to be rejected or to go above or below them. Take a look here on the downside as well. So Chinkou was below price. By the time it is closing the candles here, it is being rejected and makes a new low. Now the same we are expecting here. By the time it is approaching the candles in front of it, it is being rejected to the upside to make a new high. This is how to use Chinkou when you are trading binary option strategy. This is a 4-hour chart, but the same can be done on a 5-minute chart, on the 1-hour chart. But of course, there you should take into consideration lower expiration dates, like 5 minutes or even 60 minutes expiration date. So we have everything here on fairbinaryoptions.com. So feel free to come and subscribe. This is our website, and thank you for having me. Until next time, bye bye.